Hey y'all, again, happy Thursday. Welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go Podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. Just a couple of things I wanted to get into. I was getting ready to go lay down, and I was like, nope. I said I want to do a video. I'm gonna push through. We're gonna do this video. I did not get a Red Bull, pushing through today. So I'm gonna do this video, then I'm gonna take these contacts out and lay down. Oh Lord. OC comes on tonight. It's the season finale. I did not do last week's. I was telling you I was going to get last week's done, but y'all will get it done. So let's get into it. Just a couple little quick, little Bravo chit chat here. First up, I want to get into Andy Cohen's interview on Call Her Daddy. There's a clip that I'm going to play for y'all, and then the rest I'm going to. Somebody wrote basically I could transcribe it, and there's a couple different things that I thought were pretty interesting. So let's get into it. So first up, let's get into he talks about how a minute. I don't want to he talks about he gets into his dating life, right? He says he has two kids, so his dating is kind of changed. There are two different kinds of people he wants to sleep, two different types of people that he meets. Ones he wanted to sleep with, and ones he wants to date. Okay. He said that Candace Dillard Bassett's Drive Back is the ultimate Housewives anthem. He said he absolutely loves it. He also likes Good as Gold by Sheena Shea. I don't think I've ever heard him say that. Then he gets into, do y'all remember, if y'all are old school watchers of Roni and how they went on the boat ride? Luann is like, we got the yacht. He says that's one of the franchise's most iconic moments. So I was like, okay, I'll give him that. Then he talks about Tamra and Gretchen and their 15-year feud. You know, we've been talking about that. Like, here we go again with rehashing things that are over 12 years old. Then something he says, which makes sense, and I've thought about too. At the same time, they haven't addressed it anywhere else but on social media, and now here they are on this show together. So he said it's from things that have happened 15 years ago, but they haven't had a space to talk it out. So it's not totally unreasonable they'd be talking about it on the show. So he sees both sides of it as well. Then he talked about Erica Reed was the one that got away from Roni. So y'all, he says, and Erica Reed is L.A. Reid's wife. He said he acknowledged that the Real Housewives of New York faced criticism for its lack of diversity over the years. On the Call Her Daddy, he revealed that he met with several high profile women of color. Can I just say women of color and black women? Because the two are not really the same. I mean, people can say they're the same, but y'all know what I mean. Black women and women of color. But anyway, he said that he met with several. I would like to know that list. In the hopes of diversifying the cast, including Erica Reed, wife of music executive L.A. Reid. She's amazing, and she's kind of the one that got away, noting that L.A. Reid wasn't interested in being a part of the show. Despite efforts to bring new voices to Roni, Andy admitted some casting opportunities didn't pan out. So the fact that she was interested, but he wasn't, I could see him not being interested, right? Then they talk about the hottest house husband, and one he'd want to throw a drink at. He said he crowned Angel from Potomac, her husband, as the hottest house husband, which I've been seeing a lot of people talk about him. I forget his name. And he would want to throw a drink on. Y'all remember, for y'all old school watchers of Jersey, Amber Marchese, how you say her name? Marchese, the husband, Jim. And remember when he stirred the controversy because he was talking about Teresa's legal family trouble. And then those two twins, was it Teresa, and those two twins that were on, did y'all watch that season? And they said that the husband of one of the twins slept with the twins' mom. Child, that was a mess. I remember that season. I mean, I didn't think that season was as horrible as people said it was. If y'all watched that season, let me know. He also said that there was a point when him and Teresa, I guess, were kind of like into it, but they cleared the air before she went to prison. Teresa felt like he treated her differently than everyone else. And so they went out to lunch. And talked about her feeling like he was unfair to her, and they ended up on good terms. The housewives that talk over everyone at the reunion. This is the clip that I want to show. And y'all let me know if y'all agree with him. I'm sure you've seen it, but just let me know. This is, oh my God, here we go.
It's just harder for them, and it's no.
First person to speaking over people at reunions.
I think that um Lisa Barlow, I think that there are some people who it's just harder for them, and it's no disrespect. It's harder for them to have the intake of what someone's saying and then speak back and then, figure it out. I think Lisa Barlow might be one. I think Teresa historically has, that's been a growth area for her.
Love you.
I think that I feel like maybe Toya on Married to Medicine could be in there. Love you, Toya. No disrespect. I think that Dr. Simone also, now that I'm in the Married to Medicine universe. Who else? I mean, there are some kind of feel like Jacqueline Larita on Jersey may have been there.
Who
Yes.
do you think is the worst person when it comes to speaking over people at reunions?
I definitely can see with the Lisa Barlow of it all because I don't think I'm gonna be honest. I don't think she listens. I think her husband let us know that you think you're right. So what I say doesn't matter. And that we've seen times when he's talking and she just cuts him off. I think Teresa, I agree. I feel like Teresa and Lisa are the same. Just they're similar. When he said Toya from Married to Medicine, I was kind of like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. I wouldn't have guessed Toya. I guess I could see it, but I honestly, if we were talking Married to Medicine, I could see. I was even kind of shocked at Dr. Simone. I would think Dr. Heavenly, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I might would go with Dr. Simone because I think Dr. Heavenly just says things, but it's not like she can't stop and listen. Whereas I can see, recalling times that Dr. Simone just keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, louder, louder, louder. Whereas Heavenly may say things to try to like shock or whatever, but I do think she has the capability of listening. Even though she's going to listen, take it and say she's sorry, and then do the same thing. But I think she does listen. So I can see that. I forget about Jacqueline sometimes. I don't know. Y'all agree with him? Y'all early Jersey watchers? Y'all agree with him on Jacqueline? So let's get into some else he says. He says the Jersey reunions have tested his patience. He's talked about that before, where he's even asked them to cut him saying, shut the F up, because they just won't listen. He refuses. He's not going to admit his top housewife. He says, the personal history plays a role in how he connects with cast members. He's a nostalgic person, noting that the length of time he's known someone often can influence his perspective. So then he says, which this, I've never heard this one. He said he nearly gave up on The Real Housewives season 1. He said he wasn't behind the original concept. He credited Scott Dunlop, or Dunlop, however you say it, who lived in Coda de Casa. And remember, Michael, Vicky's son, was friends with his son, and they decided to film their mom. Michael's son, Vicky's son, Michael, and his friend decided to film the ladies or whatever for something else, I think, or what have you, and gave it to Scott Dunlop, and that's how it was created. But Vicky's son, Michael, had something to do with it. And then remember, Slade says he had something to do with it too. So he said the original footage was Curb Your Enthusiasm style, but with real women instead of actors. Inspired by the popularity of Desperate Housewives, the team named the series The Real Housewives. It set a key rule: only the women would speak directly to the camera while men stayed in the background. Still, he admitted his first season was rocky. We didn't have the footage we thought we had. It wasn't going well. He was ready to walk away until his boss insisted they keep going. That's not what that I mean, I've heard that, but something else I want to get into. He said, "Can you imagine my whole life has been made on this show. I owe these women everything. This is the part. Andy Cohen says rejection led to Bravo breakthrough. He said his path to Bravo began with a rejection. He originally applied to work at Logo, a Viacom backed LGBTQ plus network, but didn't get the job. He said I wouldn't be basically he wouldn't be calling Alec Cooper daddy if he had got that job. Instead, he landed at Bravo, where he began emailing his bosses behind the scenes gossip from the shows he was producing. Impressed by his writing, one executive suggested he start a blog on Bravo's website. That blog eventually evolved into Watch What Happens Live, now a long running late night staple. So listen, don't look down on bloggers. You never know where you could end up. And I'm not even being facetious when I say that. I mean that. I understand people don't want them on storylines of shows, which I get that, right? Because his blog didn't end up in the show. He was writing about the behind the scenes gossip, right? So you just never know. I didn't know that. I think that was interesting. And then I'm trying to see what else. There's a couple other things. Oh, this one. He defends Wendy Osefo. He says he didn't know anything about the case except that he was caught totally off guard, and he hopes that she is found innocent after the arrest. He sort of kind of said the same thing when they caught him on the street. He said he's never hooked up with the Bravo celebrity. He said, I think even I understand the rules of the game there. There have been a couple that in my mind I've thought like that would be interesting, but yeah, I think that would probably at this point be unwise. I think so too. With all them lawsuits they coming up, I think so too. There is something that I wanted to, there was another one that I thought was interesting that I wanted to talk about. Oh, he said his hair is real. I mean, I guess some people thought it wasn't. He's growing it out. He talks about the Ultimate Girls Trip footage, the season that was with Brandy Glanville, Caroline Manzo. Who else? Was Phaedra back for that one? A couple others. He said if it were up to me, you'd be seeing the entire thing. However, he clarified that the decision to withhold the footage wasn't his, saying, I'm not the last word on all things Housewives. Okay. This one right here. So Alex played a game with him called Confess or Text. So she asked him how much money he made last year. He declined to answer, calling the question douchey and citing wage inequity across industries. I'm making money that is totally ... There's an incredible wage inequity with people that I work with and also people who do jobs that are way more important than mine. Instead of answering, Cohen texts Lisa Vanderpump asking, shaking up BH cast, who should we part ways with? This is what he texted, that he was shaking up the Beverly Hills cast. Who should they part ways with? He predicted she'd respond with Kyle. She actually replied, all of them. She said, replace them all. So I thought there was some pretty interesting things in the interview that, I had not heard before. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And again, let me know what y'all think about him saying that the housewives he named that may struggle a little bit with listening, perhaps. All right. Speaking of housewives, let's get into the Real Housewives of Jersey. So we've heard a whole bunch of different rumors. The whole cast was going to be rebooted. Some of the cast was going to be rebooted. Teresa's not going to be there. Melissa's not going to be there. Margaret's going to be there. Margaret's not going to be there. Dolores, we've heard all kinds of stuff. We've heard stuff about Jen Aydin. We'd seen a lot of Jen Aydin, like last summer or earlier this year, with her Jersey Mike's incident and some other incidents. We did videos of that. Well, Jen is now speaking out, talking about Jersey. Remember, they're doing test shooting right now. Melissa's a part of it, I think, Margaret, and I'm not sure who else. But let's get into what she had to say. So she did this post. She says, hey guys, just wanted to hop on here and update you guys on a few things. A lot of you have been asking me if I'm still on she put the shower, but I guess she meant show, on the show or not. I can honestly say that nobody has told me anything, and they still haven't told me anything, but I haven't checked either. Life's been pretty busy, and I would only think about it when people asked, which is why I would have liked to have known so I can let you guys know. You know me, I like to keep it real. And and all I've heard is what you've heard. You probably know more than me, actually. I've heard that they're test filming, and I wasn't invited to BravoCon. So, by the looks of it, I think it's safe to say probably not, and that's okay. I'm good with the white prayer hands. She then says, maybe that's how they fire people these days, but just moving on without telling the person. Maybe it's awkward for them. I don't know. But if they did tell me, I would have said, thanks for letting me know. And thanks so much for the journey. Wish you guys all the best. And I mean that. I'll always be grateful for my time on the show. It was quite the experience, to say the least. So it's time to keep it moving. And I got a podcast. And I got a podcast. Child, she just went and picked one up. And I got a podcast. It's called TV Gold, and it's not about housewives, LOL. Of course, I'll touch on it at times since it was such a big part of my life, but the podcast is more going to be about pop culture, entertainment, fashion, health, wellness, and beauty, all with a flair of funny handled by yours truly, Jennifer Aydin. So it's out with the old and on to the gold with me, Jennifer Aydin, hashtag TV Gold. So what do y'all think? I'm going to just say this. Jen Aydin was another one that off the bat I didn't connect with. I'm not gonna lie, she could have some funny times, moments, not deny her that. But look, I hope that whatever she chooses to do fulfills her, makes her happy, and that she succeeds in it. Will y'all be listening to TV Gold? If y'all do, let me know how it. Well, you don't really have to let me know, but you can. You can let me know how it is. That's all I was going to talk about. I told y'all just something quick, just a couple little things that I saw and was like, oh, because it's Jen's story. She had the song Unwritten, the instrumental. So I guess, I don't know. Do y'all think that they should let them know? I feel like because she wasn't invited to BravoCon, she probably figured, right? At the same time, did they not know because they were waiting until they cast the show to be like, hey, by the way, we're not having you back? Because I would think normally that, because I know other housewives have talked about when they got the call that they weren't coming back, or that they weren't getting a pickup letter, or that they were being offered a friend of position. So I don't know. I do find it kind of like y'all could have told her something. And again, maybe they were waiting to finalize the cast because maybe at the very last minute, they were going to have her, even if she hadn't been at BravoCon. Because I would think that their excuse for not offering maybe the entire cast an invite to BravoCon would be, we're not sure yet. So we're just inviting OGs, or you have had to have been a housewife for this many years. I don't know. But I do think I would, if it was me, I would like to know as well, just can you give me the official word? But I guess she feels like she has the official word. I think this might be the official word. Like if they see this and they'll be like, yeah, we're done. So I guess we'll see if she comes back and let us know, or if she talks about it on her podcast. Again, y'all let me know if you'll be listening to TV Gold. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let me know what y'all think about Andy and this interview. I thought I had something else I wanted to talk to y'all about. I guess I didn't try. I thought I had three things. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. I love y'all so much. Make sure to check out my Real Housewives of Salt Lake City recap I just posted. And if you haven't caught the Potomac one, check that one out too. Let me get ready, child, to watch OC. I think it come on at 8. I don't even know what time it come on. Love y'all. Talk to you later. See ya.